Once again, that means that it's time for us to relax. Okay, right. Today is today's caption this morning. Kabul airport attacks. All right, 2 attacks were done, and it killed many people. All right, in fact, many people. And I think that is really that started the whole thing. The market was flat initially, but after that, when the second attack came in, then that was where when the US had to share what really happened on the scene, and that's whereby the market had to do some selling. Okay, so we'll come to this later. All right, today's MAO can be a bit short because there's not much information available in the market right now, but majority what have been shared have been done over this week. All right, let's go with the information. Now, first of all, today is the Jackson Hole actually started yesterday, but today it got into more details and stuff like that. Okay, so what is Jackson Hole Economics Symposium? All right, now I like this cartoon. When I saw this cartoon, I was just laughing away. Why does the Fed meeting in Jackson Hole? All right, and the guy replied, because Neverland was booked. I just laugh. Okay, all right. Actually, it's a little bit not that nice. Actually, you should know Neverland belongs to who, right? Yeah, that's why there was a little. This is a very nasty joke, but end of the day, it's just meant to be a joke. Okay, so relax a little bit. That's okay, but then nonetheless itself, right? Let me explain to you why is that so. Let me bring it more to you. Now, first of all, let us understand Jackson Hole. Okay, now the Jackson Hole Economic Symposium is one of the longest standing central banking conference in the world. The mission of the event is to foster an open discussion. Attendees are selected based on each year topic. So not the same attendees will go every year, all right? They are selected, okay? With additional consideration given to the create of regional diversity among attendees, okay? So the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas, charges attendee a fee to cover the expenses associated with the symposium, all right? About 120 people, okay, not thousands, it's 120 people generally attend a year, representing a variety of backgrounds and industry, but attendance by participant is limited and select media is also invited. So not everybody can go up. This not only helps to keep the focus of the symposium on track, but it also provides its transparency. Okay, so this one, are we clear with it? This is very, very important. Now, other stuff. So in case you want to ask why is it at Jackson Hole? Now, initially, FYI, okay, this is how it goes. All right, the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City hosted its first symposium, World Agricultural Trade, the Potential of Growth in Kansas City. Okay, now it was hosted in Vail, Denver, Colorado, all right? And that was talking about agriculture. Then about 4 years later, it moved to Jackson Hole. So initially, it was not at Jackson Hole, it was somewhere else, okay? And then after that, this Kansas City President Roger Godfrey invited then the federal chair Paul Volcker, okay, to attend the symposium titled Monetary Policy Issues in the 1980s. And ever since Paul Volcker accepted the invitation, basically, right, all the successors after him basically attended. So it's not created by the Federal Reserve. It's actually something by the Federal Reserve Bank, Kansas City. All right, that's what actually really happened. And Federal Reserve Chief only came in since 1982. And of course, as and when different year, there are big topics, and off and on, whenever the meeting comes in line with some big economic shift or some movement, that is where people will highlight this Jackson Hole. So after that itself, right, since the Lehman Brothers time in 2007 and 8 and 9, then that Jackson Hole was really not really covered much until 2019, whereby we had the credit crisis, we had the taper tantrum in 2020, whereby we talk about the so-called QE. That is whereby you can see again Jackson Hole comes back into the limelight. So yes, indeed, if you say that you have not heard about Jackson Hole for some time, yeah, I can understand that. It's only this last year and this year whereby it got a little bit more highlighted again because of the current coronavirus pandemic, and also the current Federal Reserve, the directions of the central bankers, what to do. So this is what actually happened. Okay, so you got an idea now how this thing really works. Okay, all right, cool, huh? Okay. Hold on, let me just get something done. Okay. All right, so this one, we are all clear. Okay, let's continue. So the thing is this, but this time round, Jerome Powell is expected not to talk much apparently. Now, what happened is that apparently now, right, because of what is happening right now with the pandemic still ongoing and world having a problem here and there, and of course what we saw in Afghanistan now, it has caused a shift right now, because initially we do expect this Jerome Powell to talk about potential tapering of the current QE, but now it may not actually happen. Okay, it may not actually happen. So this is whereby one of the most powerful central bankers are to meet virtually. All right. And of course, we were expecting Jerome Powell to talk something about what they're going to do with the current QE that they are doing now. But apparently, because of all is ongoing now, okay, the market now feel that, right, he may not really talk much, okay? All right. So the point is this, when someone expects him to talk, okay, and the market says that he will talk, he won't talk, apparently, right? So now the market says that he may not be talking. The question is, what if he chooses to talk? Okay, so this is whereby it got a bit interesting, all right? So now everybody believed that he will not say much. In fact, they believe that there will be some progress. He believed that he will just say some stuff just to, you know, get over it. But majority of the time, he might be only tapping it during the September FOMC, or maybe the later part where we have another FOMC in September 22nd. Then after November the 3rd and December the 15th, all right? There's 3 more FOMC meeting before the year ends. So maybe he's going to shift his goalposts and talk it later. So this is what people are speculating right now in this coming for tonight. Okay, now do note, he will be talking at about 10 p.m. Singapore time. 10 p.m. Singapore time. So do take note of that, okay? All right, so disclaimer as usual, right? My sharing is used as a learning aid, and at the end of the day, you have to carefully consider your current financial condition before embarking on this trading. Now, trading is easy, but it also can be damaging. So do note that there's a difference between trading and investing. You need to prepare yourself before you engage into this activity. All right, if you have accepted the above, okay, you have identified me, let's continue. All right. Now, to be a really successful trader or investor, this is going to pick up for you from internet. One of the biggest mistakes that I made in life was getting comfortable at where I was at. I stopped reading, stopped trying new things, stopped pushing harder, and eventually stopped growing. Now, it was only brief that it will never happen again. When the comfort starts, the growth stops. I think that this is a very, very good sharing session. Now, I try to basically now show you some of the main things that you can actually develop your internal so that you can be a better trader or investor, right? Because you need to have the holistic package. Now you have a technical, you have us assisting you, but now you need to make sure that you are able to be mentally strong and fit for this, all right? So that's the reason why every morning I'll try to find a good quote for you to share with you how to be a successful, trader / investor. Okay. All right, so let's study the charts for today. The bull goes moo, the bear goes grr, and the lemming goes is different this time. All right, let's look at the chart right now. Right, once again, good morning to you, Eric, Janet, Kelvin, Min Hui, and Brian. All right, this morning, kind of lesser people, almost like half lesser. All right, not too sure where they go, but never mind. Maybe they're all busy right now. Let's just look at the market, shall we? Okay. Okay, now for this morning, what we have is that we have the China A50 is trading lower this morning. All right, I already told you most likely we should see the market coming down. Now, this is the MLP for today. This is the MA30 for today. This is the MA200 for today. So you can see immediately now we are actually trading below the MLP of the yesterday's market. So likely China A50 could see some further profit taking later today. Now, I'm still standing firm with whatever I share with you guys with regards that I believe that we're going to see a little bit more profit taking. I believe the China A50 will drop down to 14,500 level before we see any form of support, okay? I strongly believe that we will see another dip down all the way here, okay? I strongly believe. And because of that, it's all right. I'm quite sure regional stocks will be hit. So you can take a look right now. If you look at this counter example, like Alibaba yesterday, Okay, Alibaba yesterday traded lower. I told you that Alibaba most likely will trade lower, and it actually really happened. All right, so now you understand why we will want you to compare and contrast with the right thing. Okay. All right, let's go back to the China A50. We saw that already. Let's look at the Hang Seng, the conventional chart, shall we? Now, Hang Seng conventional chart yesterday was brilliant. You look at it. The MLP was there at 25,665. Okay, you see that? 25,665. You look at the 5-minute chart yesterday. Oh my God, look at it. This is how incredible. You can see that. Hold on. Hey, hold on. Okay, stop. Now, this is what happened yesterday. You can see. Oh, sorry. Now, the market opens. The market opens here. The market opens here, and after that, initially it went down first. Then once it touches the MLP, look at it. Wow, look at it. The moment it touched the MLP, it couldn't stay up, and immediately it crashed down all the way. Oh my God! Just a single MLP. 400 points movement down. So that's the reason why you understand why I say that M trader and some of traders, they really likes the MLP. As long as you know how to use it, you can actually apply on it and make some great money on it. Now, of course, we cannot guarantee that it will work every time, but we can see it work most of the time. So that's the reason why whenever we do MAO in the morning, we tell you the MLP of the day, you have to take it down. It's going to be very critical. Okay, so now today's MLP, let's take a look. Now today's MLP will be somewhere around here. It could be challenged. 25,495. Okay, I can write it down for you. Okay, 25,495. Okay, so that is the MLP for today for the Hang Seng. All right, this is Hang Seng. Okay. Now the BNB extension has been traded, so you cannot really utilize it again. Okay, you cannot utilize it again. Now yesterday the market, the MA30 was 25,963, and apparently yesterday you can see that the market was very far away the day before. Sorry. So today's MA30 is even further away. It's at 25,932, so about 500 points away. So I don't think the market will be going there today. All right. So for today, 25,495 should be the more focused level. All right. Okay. So Hang Seng MLP is estimated at 25,495. Okay. Right. Market is going to open in about 10 seconds time. Let's go to the Hang Seng chart right now. Okay. Let's go. Okay, Hang Seng, here we go. Okay, Hang Seng has gapped down. I repeat, Hang Seng has gapped down this morning. Now, Hang Seng this morning has gapped down to 25,312 level. All right, it's expected to gap down because of the US market, because it closed at 1 o'clock. And of course, after the US market further drop further, that's why you can see some selling. Okay, now for this morning, the opening price is here. All right, it's between the pivot 1 and pivot 2, and the KSI is red in color. KSI is red in color, so which means that, right, if the market, okay, stays below OP, it should go down to KTR -1 rather easily. And if you talk about KTR -2, it may go there, but not as powerful as KTR -1. Now, if the market stays above OP, which is happening right now, okay, it's happening right now, the market will have to test the pivot 1 at 25,366. Now, if the market can go past it, then okay, fine. It should be able to go to KTR +1 rather easily, okay? All right, but the thing is this, because KSI is red in color, right, the upside limitation will be kind of, the upside will be limited, okay? All right, upside will be limited. So let's go to the 5-minute chart, take a look at the chart right now. There we go. Okay, so you can see that very clear. The market opens this morning around here, and it's trying to test the pivot 1. You see it's testing it right now, trying to test it through, and you can see that it stops there perfectly, meaning that the market actually recognized this pivot 1. This is again very amazing stuff to see all this happening in a market whereby market actually get resisted at these levels just because it's a pivot level. All right, so what is the upside potential? If the market stays above OP and breaks pivot 1, it should go up to 25,393 rather easily. Okay. Now, if the market goes below OP, then of course, to go down to 25,231 is going to be a thing that we can't expect it, because if the market KSI is red and if the market goes up initially like now, couldn't stay up, then of course later part, if it drops down to below OP, then for it to come down to 25,231, it's going to be pretty expected. All right. So traders, do take note of that. It's kind of expected for the market to pull back to 25,231 level. Okay. We'll come back to this later. All right. We'll take a look. All right. Morning to you, Alex. Okay, so let's look at the Dow Jones for now. Okay, this morning the Dow Jones. Okay, now Dow Jones, interesting. Again, let's confirm again. We have, yes, indeed, we have a new BNB, all right? Yesterday was a new BNB for the Dow Jones. Okay, so which means that please take note of this, all my friends. They take note of this. That means that we are talking about this is the second BNB back to back. Okay. There was a BNB 2 days ago. Now, yesterday, another BNB. Now, that means a back-to-back BNB. Okay. So, what do I see from here? Now, usually a back-to-back BNB means there's going to be very big movement coming in soon. Now, of course, with the market still on the uptrend, it's kind of expected the price to go higher. Okay. If the market can goes up above this BNB high, the Dow will easily crack past 35,600 to 700 easily. Okay. There's something that you have to take note, okay? But on the flip side, if you look carefully right now, everybody, you will notice that yesterday's low, all right, yesterday's low perfectly stopped at the MA30 level, which is at about 35,200. Okay, if you look at it now, if we go to 15-minute chart, take a look, everybody. If I go to the 15-minute chart and see what happened yesterday, you can see that the Dow Jones, came down. Oh, okay, it missed the 35,200 by a bit, but it was kind of near there. And now we are seeing it being broken, and the market have tested it and rebounded. So it shows that the market knows that this 35,200 is a very important critical level to watch out for. Okay, so with that itself, right, now we look at the chart again. Okay, for today. Okay, let me just clean up a little bit. Okay, so today, let's just go through the motion, shall we? Okay, first of all, the MLP. The MLP for today is about 35,353. So about 100 points away. That's the first concerning factor, but not that far, not that near, sorry. Then we have the MA30. MA30 is somewhere near today. It's very near. We traded 35,204. So it's there. And the MA200 is kind of far away, so don't need to worry. So basically, in short, today, the market is trading below MLP, so it's not going to be comforting to the upside. Number two, it has testing the MA30. Okay, it's testing the MA30. Okay, now it is testing now. So it basically is testing it right now. The last time we have a test, the market, once it breaks, there was some selling, but once it recovered, the market went up, right? Got the idea? Tested, recover, all the way up. All right. So same thing again, went below, recover, went all the way up. So if you can see from here itself, right, as long as the market stays above the MA30, which is 35,204, which is right now, the market will still be up. Okay, so write it down for you. Dow, MA30 is estimated at 35,204 level. Now it's staying above, so that means the market has buying potential. Okay, buying potential. All right. Okay, then the BNB minus 1 times 1 extension. Okay, it's an estimated price. It's an exact price. Is 34,924. Okay, here we go. All right, now just in case there's going to be anything happening in the market, if the market loses the BNBSL, which happens to coincide with the MA30, there is a small chance that the market could be going down to this point here at 34,924, because that is the BNB. This is a BNB minus 1 times 1 extension level. 34,924. It is possible. All right. So I will put it this way: as long as the market stays below the MA30, I believe that the Dow Jones should be coming down to 34,924 this week. Okay. Now, if the market really goes down to this level, what will happen to the weekly chart? That is where it could be a concerning factor. Now, look at it here. If the market really goes down, it will be the second time. Okay, this is where I need to focus with you. You can look at it. Now, every time when the market goes below the short-term trend line, almost next week, the market will recover. Can you see that? Every time the market goes below the short-term trend line, it's almost immediately the next week it actually recover. So by right now, we have the week before is the closing is below the short-term trend line. And initially, it was going up. But now it's retreating below the short-term trend line. If that happened itself, right, this is going to spark some worry. It's going to spark some technical concern. And of course, the market will really need to hold above the longer-term trend line, because this is where all the concerning factor is. Okay, so unless that the market goes below 35,000, but if let's say it does go below 35,000 because of the BNB extension, right, then of course this will be a concern. All right, so traders, today it's going to be important. The Dow has to stay above the 35,000 mark so that the uptrend is still intact. Okay, this is very important. All right, so write it down somewhere to remind yourself and everything. Okay. All right, so that's what we have for the weekly chart. Let's look at the Dow Jones for today. But before that, let's look at China. China A50 has recovered. That's a good news. It has recovered. That's good. So which means that Hong Kong should also recover. Let's take a look. Hong Kong went up, failed to stay above the pivot one. Now it's pulling back to the opening price, but still firmly above opening. So let's wait for a while more. Take a look. Okay, let's bring in the Dow Jones first. Now, this is the Dow Jones chart. Everybody take a look. This is the Dow Jones chart. Now, what do you see, guys, on the Dow Jones chart? Where is the pivot? Can you tell me? Where is the pivot? Can you see it? Well, if you have noticed it, right, today got no pivot. Today, Dow Jones got no pivot, okay? Now, no pivot means what? That means the opening price is going to be very important. If the market stays above OP, the market will go up. If the market stays below OP, the market will go down. Okay, it's as simple as that. Now, the KSI is green color, so which means that the market is going to favor the upside, okay? It's going to favor the upside. Now, do note, it is also a new cage. Yesterday, a new cage, so the SL and the RL will be one of the key resistance and support level. Okay, so today, yes, indeed, correct, Eric. Today got no pivot. Okay, no pivot. So traders, please be careful on that. All right. Okay, so that's all I can tell you. If there's no pivot, the OP will be the one making calling the short. We just had to follow through. Okay, Nasdaq. Now, Nasdaq, I already gave you the warning yesterday. Yesterday, I gave you the warning. I said that the Nasdaq, there will be profit taking. Now, basically, if you remember, all right, you can give me a spot on if you can. All right, yesterday, we have a very clear, day before was a very clear doji day. And I mean, I told you guys for Nasdaq, as long as it stays below OP, you can short the Nasdaq. All right, based on CCYR below OP, you know, with that itself, because it's a doji directional day, potentially, and it really happened. Okay, and of course, you can see that the market loses to the MLP was very clear. Okay, so today, where's MLP for the Nasdaq? The MLP for the Nasdaq today is at 15,328. 15,328. So it seems to be a very near level. 15,328 level. Okay. So as long as the Nasdaq stays below 15,328, okay, thank you, Anthony. All right, the market will still be down. Okay, it will still be down. All right, but it's way above the MA30. Okay, MA30 today is 15,124. So which means that as long as the market stays above 124, the bullishness is there. So how can we going to interpret this? Okay, very simple, guys. Now, 15,328 is the MLP. If the market want to go higher, it has to cross 15,328 first. This one you have to know that. Okay, that's the first thing first. Second, the second thing is that, right, the MA30 is 15124. So what does it mean? That, right, the market overall is still uptrend. Okay, so that means that if the market stays above OP, the resistance is 15,328. It has to be crossing it for the upside. Now, if the market stays below OP and goes down, 15,124 will be the support. Okay, so you understand my point? Yeah, this is how we actually categorize all the technical level for yourself. Okay, got it. Okay, so if that'll be good. Okay, so that is Nasdaq for us, but overall it's still pretty bullish for Nasdaq. Okay, let's look at the Nasdaq day chart, shall we? Now, Nasdaq today's opening price is there's a pivot, so don't think that Dow no pivot, Nasdaq will have no pivot. It's wrong concept. Okay, so this morning the opening price of the Nasdaq is slightly below pivot 1. Okay, thank you, Eric too. All right, below opening price is slightly below pivot 1. So if the market cross pivot 1, if it cross pivot 1, it will be a buy. Above pivot 1, above OP is always a buy. How you buy it? You do CCRY buy. Okay, it's very important. Now, if the market hits a pivot and pullback, now this is a problem. The KSI on the day chart is actually red in color, which means that there is some selling pressure. Now, if the market basically hit the pivot, which is what I'm seeing right now, and comes back down below pivot 1, is actually a sell. Okay, it's actually a valid sell. So traders must be careful. And because the KSI is red in color, right, the downside to KTR minus 1 is going to be pretty high. The downside to KTR minus 2 is there, but not as much as KTR minus 1. So traders, you need to take note of all these key numbers. Okay, it's kind of important for you for today, Nasdaq. Okay, now the thing is this, because the Jerome Powell will be speaking at only 10 p.m., the market, will there be any movement? Now, usually there'll be no movement until 10 p.m., all right? Which means that until Jerome Powell speaks, the market should be kind of slow, all right, towards that. So if traders, you are not comfortable to trade today, just take a break today and come back and watch the market at 10 p.m. or later, okay? All right, so that is the Nasdaq. Let's look at the S&P 500. Wow. Now, this is the S&P 500. You can see yesterday it broke the MLP and it came down. And of course, we also know one thing is that 2 days ago, it was a BMB. So you know that there is a technical level to buy back at 44.59 level. 44.59 is the BMB minus 1x1 extension, okay? 44.59. So I'll write down for you. So that for those who are shorting S&P, you know that 44.59 will be a level for you to consider to buy back some of your shorts, okay? Okay, now today's MA30, let's bring it in slightly higher. It's approximately here at 44.45, okay, 44.45, around there, okay? So as long as the market stays above 44.59, the market should be able to hold above 44.45 level. All right, traders, take note of that, okay? Take note of that. Okay, so we have the whole setup for all the equity market. As I said again, majority of them, if not all of them, are trading below MLP, but it's staying above OP right now. If the market stays above OP for those no pivot day, the market will be going higher. But if it goes below OP, the market will flip position. So I'm referring to Dow earlier. Okay. All right, let's look at the S&P 500 in terms of the chart. Let's take a look. Okay, for S&P 500 today, it's also opening price between 2 pivot, but KSI is also red. KSI is also red. Now, what does it mean then? That means that the market, as you can see, the market was going up recently, but we know that the KSI was red. So once the market loses, we know there's some selling. Okay, so there's some selling at the moment right now. So with this, with the KSI red, and the market being at that, right? If the market goes below OP, CCYR can sell. Go for KTR minus 1, that'll be good enough. If you want to go for more, then minus 2 lah. But this one, the potential to happen is not going to be that easy to see. All right, take note of that. Okay, sorry, my bad. Because the market is KSI is red, sorry, to go to KTR minus 1 shouldn't be a problem. KTR minus 2 is possible. All right, because KSI is red. Sorry, my bad. Okay. Okay, so we have all the numbers and colors. Let's look at the DAX market. Okay, that's DAX. Okay, let's look at DAX. Now, DAX yesterday, brilliant. Okay, DAX was brilliant. The BNB was there already. So straight away, guys, if you were following me and you know that what I said yesterday, when DAX basically opened, it tried to touch the SL level, but missed by a couple of points, and then it slammed down all the way down to the BNB -1 extension. So if you follow through, you actually make some money from there rather easily, okay? Rather easily. Now, today's MLP, let's take a look. Now, today's MLP will be somewhere near here. Let's take a look. Okay, this is MLP. And if you notice that the MLP today and the MA30 is very, very near one another. So this MA30 first, okay, sorry. MA30 is about 15,785. The MLP is somewhere near here, which is about 15,770 around there. So that means that today, today's the BNB and today's the MLP and the MA30 are very near one another. So traders, you need to watch this level very closely, okay, for DAX. But DAX already, the 1x1 minus 1x1 has been given already. So you cannot really utilize it anymore. Okay, all right. So that is what we have for the DAX today. Let's look at the China A50 again. China A50, oh, okay, has recovered. Wonderful. China A50 has recovered. Wow, interesting. Okay, so did Hong Kong recover too? Hong Kong went up initially, but now it's back down to opening price. So it's not really following what's happening in Hong Kong and China now. Interesting. All right, let's look at Nikkei, shall we? Now, Nikkei this morning has went down. Nikkei this morning has went down. Wow, went down quite a lot to 27,453. Let's take a look at Nikkei first for today. Let's take a look. Wow, okay. So Nikkei initially this morning slowed down all the way down. Wow, boom, came down very nicely. That's why I like Nikkei. When it comes down, it goes down very fast. When it goes up, it goes very fast. It's a very good index to trade with, I tell you that. I'll show you the chart later. All right, so this is what happened for Nikkei. So Nikkei came down initially and now has recovered back to the opening price. Now Nikkei today, let's take a look. Okay. First of all, the MLP for today, Nikkei is somewhere around here, which is about 27,690, which happened to coincide now with the MA32. So today, MA30 and the MLP is about the same level for the Nikkei. Hence, therefore, that's why this morning when the market opens only, right, Nikkei sell down so much because it has an impact of the MLP and the MA30 at the same time. That's the reason why you see the initial sell-off. So as long as the Nikkei cannot stay above the MLP or the MA30, Nikkei will still stay down. All right, Nikkei will still stay down. And of course, if you look at the Nikkei chart on its own, you will actually see why this morning it will be tradable in Nikkei. I have a friend of mine who's been trading Nikkei the last 3 days, and he has been making money every single day. Every single day, he actually make money from the Nikkei. Okay, so let's take a look at the Nikkei today. Now, the Nikkei this morning open price was between the two pivot 1 and pivot 2. But we know that the KSI is red in color, so which means that the market is more towards the sell side. So if the market breaks below the opening price with CCYR, it's a sell. So this morning, we do not have a CCYR, so you couldn't be done anything. But it went all the way down, and incredibly, once it hit the KTR -2, you know where to stop, it rebounded off. So the question is now, can we buy on Nikkei? Well, if it stays above OP, which is not yet almost there, you can buy because it hit the pivot 2. It's a pivot trade, and if it's above OP, it's generally safe. Okay, but like I say once again, the KSI on the day chart is red in color, so you need to be careful. Profit taking could actually happen again. All right, so traders just have to take note of that. Okay, so here we go. We have all the stuff right now. Let's look back to the Hong Kong market. I see Hong Kong recovering a little bit. Yes, Hong Kong came down, but not low enough. It then rebounded. All right, seemingly the Hang Seng market today is not very clear on what to do. Okay, so it's interesting, another interesting day. Okay, so we have the all the equity market has been covered. Let's look at the gold market today. Now, gold yesterday really beautiful. Now, everybody take a look. I told you guys, gold, if it comes down, there's a very important MA30 level at 1785, and voila, the market touched the point and immediately recovered after it went down to 1780. Yes, indeed. Okay, but then again, you can see that it went down. Okay, it went down to 1779, and then after rebounded. All right, so today is very important. You realize that the MA30 and MA200 almost didn't change. So that means that the number is still going to be the same. So what number do we have? 1785 is the support level for gold, and the resistance is with 1804 for gold. Wow, incredible. All right, same thing. Now, yesterday is a doji, sorry. Yesterday is a doji for the gold. So which means that today could be a directional day, which means as long as the market stays above OP, it will be an update. And now it seems to be really following through. Okay. All right. So DJ, DD traders stand by. All right. Today could be an upside day. But 1804 will be the main resistance. I'll write down for you. Okay. So gold, MA30 support at estimate 1785. MA200 resistance at estimate 1804. Okay, yes, indeed, Anthony, it's a DJ DD day. All right, for the gold potential DJ DD day. So today for gold, it's more for buying. Okay, it's more for buying if the market stays above OP. Okay, weekly chart, you can see that I share with you my drawing. If today's gold can stay above 1800, then it will break the downtrend line. So it could actually send gold higher maybe next week. Okay, so let's see the closing for today. 1800 will be a good level to watch out for. Okay, the silver. Okay, let's go first. Wow. Okay, so this is gold chart this morning. So this morning, gold already very clear. Its opening price is already above OP. Sorry, the opening price is above pivot 1. And pivot 1 and pivot 2 is very small. So today above OP, CCRY is a buy, KSI is green color and no blue bars. Wow, everything looks good. So without blue bar, that means the market is bullish. With the KSI green, that means the big boys are buying. And today's opening price happened to be above pivot 1, right? So by right, CCRY by default already can buy. On default can already buy. Okay. All right. So there's something to take note of that. Okay. Very, very important. So today is a buy day. Okay. So let's look at the intraday chart. Okay. So this morning we have a CCRY. CCRY, the entry price is the entry bar. The opening price entry bar, sorry. And you can see that it's actually tilting towards upside now. Okay, now the today's target for gold, if you're going to go all the way up, it'll be 1799 level. All right, so that means that current price right now for gold is 1795. So that's about $4 upside for gold. Okay, $4. All right, so watch out for that, gold traders. Okay. Well, Hang Seng has traded higher. Let's take a look. Okay, wow. Okay, Hang Seng has traded higher. 5 minutes. Okay, Hang Seng has did a BMB and now it's staying above OP. CCRY is a buy, and that's why you can see it go up. So it almost basically covered the gap of yesterday. So whatever happened, I mean, any gap that happened this morning is already covered. So this is very clear that the boys are trying to push up the market today. Okay, so that's what we have for the Hang Seng, and we talked about the gold. Then look at the crude, the silver. Yesterday, silver market came down while gold stabilized. So again, that shows you that why silver is not the best bet unless it's purely speculative reason. All right. So for today's MLP for silver, somewhere here, $23.68. The MA30 had lowered down a little bit. Okay, today's one is about $23.93. Okay, it's below the 61-point level. So for silver, if you want to go higher, it has to break MLP first before it can go to the MA30. Okay, so we need to watch out for that. Okay, so we have all this expect here itself. Let's look at the crude oil. Now, crude oil, I told you there will be some selling. Indeed, it happened, but it did not really come down. I'm going to wait further. Now, crude oil basically is sharing now the same MA30. Okay, let's just put it away, all the levels again. Now, first of all, this is the MLP. You put it in, the market has a resistance on there, about $67.76. We need to be careful. And also, we talk about the MA30 level now. Now, MA30 for today, you can see is $67.56. So, which means that today is a very critical day. All right, the market will be watching you very closely. If the market stays above MA30, the market will bring it higher for crude. If not, it will bring it down all the way to the MA200 level. Okay. All right. So this is the crude level. Where's the level for crude? Is $65.80. I assume that because I see there's a bit of uptick here. Yeah, around there, around there. Okay. 65.88. Wow. Okay. Nice number. 88. Okay, so that is the crude oil for today. All right, so all clear? If everybody clear with the technical analysis, please key number 1 right now. Everybody, please key number 1 right now. If you can too, also do me a favor. Give me all the likes button or to make the emoticons a little bit more interesting. Then we can have a bit of more fun today. Now, today I'm kind of under the weather. I'm not sick, just I'm very tired. All right, last few days is all right. I've been trying to gather all the great charts for you. Now I've gathered 40 over charts already. I think you really need to attend this tomorrow session at 10 a.m. It's going to be really incredible stuff. Definitely going to like it a lot. All right, so thank you guys for staying on. Jerry, Eugene, Neo, okay, this is seeing you, okay. All right, Toming, Fred, Janet, Han Yu, Eric, Anthony, okay, guys, thank you very much once again. Okay, so I've covered all the technical analysis. I already tell you today is the FOMC, today is the Jackson Hole. So market is going to be slow movement towards today until 10 p.m. where Jerome Powell will be speaking at 10 p.m. Singapore time, if I get it correct. So if you are to involve in the market, then you just have to understand that the market could be choppy. So it could swing you. And of course, if you are not able to handle the swing, you may have losses and then again, you may get upset. Okay. All right. That will be all for the technical side. Let's go to the fundamental side. Okay, let's go. Okay, first of all, FYI, there are many good reasons why the stock market is about to book profits. Okay, I'm not saying that it will be the tanking. I didn't say the market will tank. I didn't say the market will crash. I'm telling you that there is a good reasons that why I believe the stock market is going to book profit. Okay, so good idea. So it's like a bit of dovish feeling here, but indeed, because I don't think the market will tank. Why? Because the tapering haven't even started. So which means that the $120 billion is still very available. So that's the reason why I don't think so. But you cannot deny this. The numbers look pretty bad. Okay. So I'll be covering this thing called the high yield credit market. I know that this is something like, wow, Cal, some people say, Cal, we are not attending because what is high yield credit market? It's like, wow, so cheap stuff. Isn't that very too heavy for us? No, this is just only one topic of it. But this one topic itself, right, if I started with it, right, you will realize that, hey, things may get pretty nasty. So that's the reason why I want you to look at this, okay? All right, so if you have not registered, you can register it right now. You just have to scan right now, take a handphone and scan the QR code over there. If you prefer to type, then this is the contact, this is the link, okay? This is the link, all right? All right, so already I made guys make you easy with the registration link. Let me just bring it up for you. I just copy it for you again. One. Hey, how come I cannot? Wait, having a problem. Wait, let me try again. Again. Here we go. Okay, so here is the link. Right, click on it right now, and then you can join in. All right. So the thing is, this is going to be really incredible because we're talking about really, really detailed stuff and things that if you like my alternate market views, right, this is going to be even better. It's the same content level as high, as good as last Saturday during our event, but it's all brand new. Yes, brand new stuff. So that's why you really need to attend. Okay. All right, good. All right. How many of you are attending, by the way? Let's check. How many of you are attending? If you're attending this session, let me see. Key the word ME right now. If you're attending this session, which tomorrow at 10 a.m., please key ME, all right? ME, all right? Let me see how many of you are going to have ME in here itself. All right, now, of course, will that be replayed? We'll record it, but again, I will rather replay it later because I want to have more interaction with you. Tomorrow, this session itself, I'm only host. So of course, in between, you can ask questions and I'll do my best to explain this to you. It's going to be like a 1 hour to 2 hours thingy, all right? So that's why it'll be cool that you can participate, okay? All right, wow, there's so many of you, great. Wow, that's great, that's great. All you guys are my ardent fans, very appreciate it. Okay, thank you. All right, so remember to scan to register, okay, for tomorrow. Now, this is one of the things that I can share with you, okay? Look at this. This is the S&P 500. Now, S&P 500 is the one in the candlesticks. The one in blue, that is the one that Michael Burry is shorting the market right now, which is the TLT, which is the long-term ETF. And the one in orange, that is the sorry, this is number is what that DJT. This is not the Dow Jones. I must look at the script. Sorry. All right. I think it's the ETF. Yes, correct. If not wrong, okay. If not wrong, I get back to you on this. I wrote so many things. I lost track. Okay, but my point is this: you can see that this is what is happening. You look carefully now, if you understand. Oh, transportation, correct. Now I get it. This is the Dow Jones transportation. Okay, sorry, so many things in my mind. Now look at it. The Dow Jones transportation usually will stick to the market pretty clear. But when the Dow Jones transportation actually moves away, right, that's one big concern. And if the bond yields, the bonds are to move up at the same time, right, that means the market actually shift focus. And that's where things get ugly. Now what we see is that the Dow Jones, the S&P is trading higher, and you can see that the transportation actually by this year, May, has already moved away. Can you see that? There is a huge discrepancy now between the two of them. This is very scary, okay? That's one part. And look at it now, the bond is moving up. So if the bonds have to go up itself, right, it's going to change the whole market. Now I know that Michael Burry is calling for short, but I think that it's going to happen later, not now. Okay, so that's why not everything's on Michael Burry, but the point is this: I do see a very interesting pattern over here, and that's the reason why I want to share this with you. Okay, all right. So take a look at this. All right. So if you think that this actually is interesting, right, then of course you must go for this coming event. Okay. All right. Yeah. Now, we have yesterday's GDP number 6.6%, so kind of expected. Where the initial jobless claim 353, also kind of expected yesterday, as I talked about that. So basically, the market has not much new stuff yesterday. Now, today, Jerome Powell will be speaking. At what time will that be? I already got the information for you. It's at 10 a.m. ET, all right, Eastern time. So if it's actually basically 24 hours from now. So basically, we will have Jerome Powell speaking at 10 p.m. tonight, okay? 10 p.m. tonight. So you can actually watch it, okay? All right. Now, of course, the Dow Jones yesterday, it was flat initially. Then when the news came in from White House, then that's where the price came all the way down. Okay, came all the way down. All right, so, okay, sorry, PowerPoint didn't do well. Okay, hold on. Okay, so S&P 500 and the Nasdaq snap a 5-day winning streak as cautious investors look to Jackson Hole. So we already mentioned that, right? Most likely we're going to see some profit taking towards Jackson Hole, and it really happens. Okay, so the question is this, all right? What to look out for? Let's take a look. Oops, I think the data. Okay, never mind. Okay, first of all, we have the traders. Okay, they are all eyeing at the development in Afghanistan. Unfortunately, last night we have 12 US service members was being killed and 15 wounded after two explosion went off near the Kabul airport. All right. So, of course, interestingly, when this happened, we expected crude oil price to move, but crude oil didn't move. In fact, it came down. Okay. So, in the economic data side, it's a bit of, I told you, right, a bit flat, nothing much. Okay. And now we have James Buller. He is still very, very adamant. He says that, right, the central bank should begin their effort to do tapering and wrap it up by end of March next year to prevent the economy from overheating. In fact, itself, right, he said that we must do tapering right now, okay? If not, things will get pretty ugly later on. Okay, I kind of agree with him. That's why, but again, he's one of the very forward, very into focusing on the tapering. He wants tapering, but of course, only he speaking may not have the power, right? So yesterday, we have the interesting point of the Dow Jones. The opening price of Dow Jones was between the two pivot 1 and pivot 2, and the KSI was green. So we expected the Dow Jones to be up, but instead the Dow Jones came down. And if you look at the chart, you can understand why. Now, this is the opening price of the day. The market initially went down. There was no triggering, nothing else. But watch out on this guy here itself. Guys, what do you see this again? What do you see? Right, this is what, in your opinion, can you take a look? This is a BMB, right? It's a BMB, and if you notice this is the lowest at that point. It was the lowest of the day. So if you were to speculate on this and you suspect that this is going to be the lowest of the day, what you could have done is that you could have just basically do a very discretional, I repeat, discretional buy and bet that this is the low of the day. So which means that the nearer you enter, the better it is. And of course, if the market goes up, you can make 2 to 3 folds of your money. So this is something that we observe, right? If you happen to see a BNB and you felt that this is going to be the low, why? Because look at the KSI. The KSI was green in color. So this is a telltale sign. And let's say you do a little discretional bet. That's something you can do, all right? Interesting, right? Okay, this one we'll share later on in the Seng Index training class later at 2 p.m. and also on Monday too, all right? So that's one interesting phenomenon. Okay, so what happened now? The price goes up. Okay, now when the price goes up, you're supposed to buy, right? But the thing is this, there was trigger, but there's no BNB trigger. There were trigger, but there was no BNB trigger. So by right, you shouldn't be doing any form of buying yesterday. Then after that, you see a trigger right now is a BNB, and you will notice this happened to be the highest of the day. Do you notice that? This is actually the highest of the day, and it's also a BNB. Don't you realize that? So again, on the same proposition, if you were to short the market on discretional or you follow the rule to short, you were shorted near the high. This is stop loss of the day, and the price goes down. Incredible, right? So don't you realize that this BNB is quite useful if you actually can speculate what is actually happening or could be happening in the market. If you like this BNB, this thing is all right, this key BNB. If you like what I just shared about BNB, do consider that. But for the Dow Jones yesterday, you can see the market really came down after it hit the OP, BNB, CCYR, boom, the price came down. Of course, it could be because of the what happened in the Afghanistan and stuff like that. But again, we are technical trader. We follow what technical says. If technical says that it's a sell, we just have to follow through, and it really happens. So this is why I am really impressed with this BNB. So next time you see BNB, do some speculation, okay? Now trading is about speculation anyway. So as long as you do it speculatively, you do it in kind, you know your risk reward, it's good, okay? It's good. Okay, so yesterday we have gold. Now gold, unfortunately for some of us, okay, we bought gold a couple of days ago based on the CCRY, and we got stop out. Okay, yesterday the price of gold came down to 1782. We were stop out, and then after that it ran back up again. This is life, okay, but sometimes we just have to accept it, no choice. Okay, anyway, I say what is happening for gold. Now, yesterday gold open price was above the pivot 1, right? It was opening price was above pivot 1, so we know that above OB, CCRY is a buy by default already. You do not need any BNB, you do not need any triggering. But of course, if the market goes below the pivot 1, it will be a sell. But because the KSI is red and there's no blue, the KSI is green and there's no blue bars, the market is more towards the buy side. The market is more towards the buy side. So what happened? Take a look, everybody. Now, initially, you notice that again, right? You notice that again, right? Look at this guy. This guy's a BNB. Okay, interesting again. Okay. Then after that, the price came down. Okay. And what happened? The market stays sideways. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. No color change. All right. And then it went down to pivot 1. When you hit pivot 1, what do you see? It basically stopped there. And if you are fast enough, quick enough, do you notice that this guy is also a BNB, which happened to be the low of the day at that point? Indeed. So CCRY, if you went in to buy, you have bought here. But unfortunately, the market ding dong itself couldn't go any higher. Pull back. Now, your stop loss most likely was triggered. I repeat, your stop loss most likely was triggered. Then there's nothing you can do, right? But as it goes further down, you notice that this is a CCRY. And if you notice again, this guy is a BNB. If this guy, you notice this, there's a KSI jump. All this tells you that this is a good buy. And if you follow the rule, CCRY at pivot 1 to buy, you will make some money from gold, right? That's the first trade. Then, of course, what happened? Second trade, sorry. Then it came back down again. And this time around, it created a BNB, which not the day high of the day, it came down all the way, all right? And created the new day low. Now, this BNB is a new bar low and day low. Can you see that? Then after that, it went down lower. And after this, you notice that again, this is a BNB again. Wow, a lot of BNB, but it happened to be the low of the day. So if you were to speculate again, you would have bought somewhere later on, maybe due to here, CCRY, BNB trigger the pivot 1 very firmly. And then again, CCRY single rate, okay? And then the gold shot up all the way after it crossed the opening price. So you see, guys, actually, right, yesterday, I know it's tough, but there are many nuggets for you to consider. How many of you can see this already? Through this explanation itself, right, you kind of see that now you can actually make money from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. every day if you just basically focus on potential BNB, aka the high of the low of the day. How many of you can see it? If you can see it right now, key the word yes, Y-E-S, yes. Let me see this. I think that later on, right, I think many of you are going to be like watching the BNB very closely and going to help you in between. But if you actually consider and do a speculative trade on this, right, you can make some good money, you know, seriously. And the downside is protected. The upside is incredible. This upside is really incredible. Okay. So a big yes from Louis, Judy, Eric, Anthony. All right, cool. All right. Yeah, indeed. What? Yeah, correct. Yes. So how will you do this? I can give you a very simple thingy to consider. Okay, just consider. If M15 is the BNB that we're focusing on, and I'm going to be buying after that itself, right? I can do a discretional buy at M5 or even M1, the next bar. You understand? That means that in the next bar itself, I can just enter. I will know where my stop loss is because that is the low of the day. So as long as the market doesn't hit the low of the day, I will be able to benefit a lot from there itself. So give you an idea here, everybody. Give you a simple idea. Look at this. This is a BNB, right? And let's say you've decided and believe that this is the low of the day. What you can do is you can buy here, okay? Or you can even buy anywhere lower on the lower time frame, and your stop loss is put here, okay? So this will be your range. So if the market goes up, okay, within less than probably an hour or so, you can see 1 time 1 profit, you already made back your money. So you put a risk of $100, but an hour later, you make $100. Isn't that cool? Yeah, as simple as that. Pretty simple, right? You just have to believe in your whatever you see in our chart. And your entry and your risk management, you just have to follow a systematic way of doing this. Okay? Kind of cool, right? Yeah. See? We can do things like this. All right, so we then look at news right now. First of all, yesterday I didn't do this because there's too many slides. I didn't do this, but today I must do this. Our Singapore Yip Pin Siu has won the gold medal again for the women's 100 meters backstroke S2 at the Tokyo Olympic. All right, I think the Paramic. Okay, all right, fantastic. All right, she has done a great job here herself. Okay, you can see that this is I went through the video, and you can see she's like way two body length compared to the Japanese swimmer. And of course, it's lovely to see our national flag flying again in the Olympic. And of course, this is where her tears of happiness is there. I think this is really incredible. All the hard work and all the stuff is there, right? It really, you know, warms our heart, right? Great job. And I think that she's going to have one more to go, her personal favorite, right? One more to go. All right. Now, yesterday we saw the unfortunate thing happen. 12 US servicemen were killed service members, sorry, were killed, 15 wounded. Now, the thing is this, the media only covered the US side, but actually about 60 Afghanistan people were killed yesterday. So yesterday was a pretty bad day. More than 70 people were killed because of the bomb blast. And that means that the bomb blast itself must be very powerful, because to kill 70 people is not that easy. Right? And you know, it was very crowded, obviously, because of at the airport and movement like this. Okay, so apparently now ISIS has came in and they claim responsibility for the attack. And of course, the US President Joe Biden is kind of very pissed off. He said that they will make them pay, but I cannot believe that how to make them pay. You are the one who left them. So the thing is this, for the last 18 months, there were no such problem, no suicidal effect, nothing. The moment now US want to leave, all right, leaving the Taliban, okay, to control the country, things really happen. All right, this is really, really insane. And of course, it's very, very ugly because they don't even cover this. They only cover the US side. They don't cover how many people died the Afghanistan side. This is very, very bad. You can see that it's a very selected media that we're seeing right now. And of course, if you know ISIS-K is who, it's a branch of ISIS that was established in January 2015 by disgruntled members of the Taliban Pakistani affiliate. So actually, they are a sworn enemy of the Taliban. Oh my God. So think about this now. If the Americans are not around, these guys will keep on attacking. They'll keep on attacking. So what do you expect to see? More problem, right? Kind of irresponsible for the US to do this, but again. All right, so this is a very interesting video that I've captured for you from CNBC. All right, interesting stuff that this guy had to say. Let's listen. Okay, hold on. My volume is not up. Hold on, let me just check my volume. Moment. Okay.
Is a long road that has blast walls on either side of it, concrete barriers. I believe we have some video of that area. And at the beginning of this, there's a Taliban checkpoint where the Taliban are supposed to screen people. We have some video of that area. And
sorry, let me just.
Beginning of this, there's a Taliban.
Okay, sorry about that.
Who are going to come in toward, and here that is. At the beginning of this is a Taliban checkpoint, and there's supposed to be a physical screening of everyone. Apparently, obviously, the suicide bomber was able to get past that Taliban screening. What we don't know is whether the Taliban missed it or whether the Taliban allowed it, because there's certainly no way to trust the Taliban anymore. The beginning of this agreement for the evacuation was the Taliban were to provide security for U.S. troops and complete access to the airport in exchange for our departure on Tuesday of next week.
Okay, so what you can see right now is that there is a little bit of unhappiness right now. And of course, now when the thing hits the fans and because of US soldiers are being hurt, that's where it gets serious. So before that, they're like, okay, don't care, don't bother. But now things happen, they have to answer. And of course, this is going to be giving a lot of pressure back to Joe Biden in the White House. All right, so this is what's happening right now. Okay, so what's the reason to stay bullish in the market? Let's take a look here, everybody. Let's take a look. Okay, Hang Seng going to hit KTR +2. Excellent. Okay. All right. So what are the reasons now? Of course, you can see that once there's any problem in America or anything like in the geographical bump, straight away to safe haven, the dollar goes up. Okay, the dollar goes up. Hey, wait a minute, the dollar goes up, but the gold also went up, right? Exactly my point. You see, so the dollar goes up doesn't mean that the gold must come down. We did see silver coming down, but the gold went up. So that means that there's some buying in gold for protection basis, for hedging purposes. We don't know that, but you can see that it does happen. So every time when there's a problem in America, the first thing people go in to buy the dollar. You realize that it's always like that. And of course, I did mention to you to buy the VIX indicator, VIX index. Yesterday, VIX shoot up from 17 shoot up to 18. All right, that's where I tell you to consider to look at that. All right, so yesterday for those who bought VIX, congratulations to you. Now today it says a very short MAO. We talk about the alternate market views right here. Now you can see that the short-term VIX versus the far-term VIX is showing that there's a spread movement here, and within the same day itself, right, it went up twice. So now the market is getting a bit jittery. They are pretty afraid that things may get out of hand. So that's the reason why traders, you need to watch out for this, okay? You need to watch out for this, okay? You really need to watch out for this, so to see whether or not the market can, recover and go higher. But of course, what you see right now is that the US Midwest domestic hot rolled coal steel futures is going crazy for this year. This year alone, look at the coal steel, it's went up by almost 400%. Oh my goodness, look at it. Look at the amount of the price of going up. Then I thought that this is going to be like a mainstream media. Then I realized that when I go and look through, it was not recovered. In fact, it was only up by 200%. That was in July. But today, August, is up by 400% away from the low. So where is it going on? Because you can realize that all the dates I find is all the one in July. They don't even cover now. So it does seem that, right, there is some hiding of inflation stuff. And of course, they only let things happen. So steel price going higher is kind of dangerous, honestly. It's actually a pretty, it feels something's wrong here itself. And that's why I kind of believe that they are trying to hold down this piece of news, okay? You should know what I'm trying to say, okay? Right, first we saw lumber price coming down, we saw the housing price coming down, we saw construction price coming down. So it couldn't be because they needed steel for for the economy, right? Something else. All right, think about this, something else. That's why I kind of like, okay. All right, so now this is very interesting, and this is going to be last two slides for today. Take a look right now. This is the this is the US federal balance sheet, okay, which is like, now you can see the one in green is a balance sheet, but you can look at it, right? Well, they will, whenever they put in a lot of money, the economy usually will recover. Then of course, in pandemic time, when the economy goes down, they pump in more money. That's why the economy also recover. But the problem is, since September last year, we have a very interesting decoupling effect. We can see that the economy is actually not doing as well as it is, but the money, they keep on pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping. So the money, they pump in non-stop, but the economy is going down in a very rapid pace. And that is a very concerning factor. And that is why I'm saying this, that somehow or other, this cannot be continued. And if you look carefully, it's all right. You can see now many of the like Bola and Kaplan, they're all saying that there should be a time to be concerned for this money that's coming in the system. You should be very, very careful with this. And of course, if you put the same balance sheet with the S&P 500, you can see that, oh my goodness, they are all like brothers and sisters, and they are like twins, in fact. Look at it. It's exactly the same thing, but we put S&P 500, it's almost identical. So again, it shows that, right, it is the stock market now is going up, not because the economy is doing well. It's because of the balance sheet that Federal Reserve have been putting into the system. And because of that itself, right, let me tell you this, all of you, that the moment there is any chance of any pullback of any significant in the balance sheet, which aka the QE, the S&P will fall pretty fast, all right? But as long as, I repeat, as long as Jerome Powell and friends say, no, I'm going to stay tuned with the money, I'm going to print more money, I'm going to put in the system itself, right? Then no matter what you tell me, the stock market will not come down. Okay, so this one you have to remember this. If it happens, if the money is coming down, the stock market will follow, because now we do not have the economy helping us. We don't have it. It's very clear, and that's why this Federal Reserve official like Bullard and Kaplan, they are very concerned, because if you continue doing this itself, right, there will be a point whereby the market had to crash bigger just to make it to break even level. All right, so that's the reason why I say tomorrow's this Saturday MAO at 10 a.m. is going to be very critical. It's going to be important, and definitely it's going to be very rewarding. All right, thank you all for today. Once again, today it's a short MAO. I believe that you guys have got information from me. Let's make some money together. Okay, this is Kel signing off. For those coming for the Hong Kong training later, I'll see you at 2 p.m. All right, this is Kel signing off. Bye-bye. Yes, indeed, Hong Kong's going higher. Great job, man. Okay, bye-bye.